Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello and welcome. My name's Tilly, I'm 22 years old, and I'm a tiny bit obsessed with YA literature. God, that sounds like a Tinder bio, doesn't it? So my lovely friend and fellow new booktuber, Cozy Beck, suggested that I do this video, despite having already made 9 videos prior. So I know I've done this in all the wrong order, but better late than never, right? If you've been with me from the start, and when I say start, I mean literally 2 months ago, this is the chance for you to get to know me better. Or if you're new to my channel, this is a nice little introductory video. So again, welcome. So question number 1, why did you start this channel? So I've always loved reading, and then in school I discovered that I was actually semi-decent at English literature as well. So I ended up studying that at university, which meant that I had to analyse books for 4 years of my life. And now I swear, every single book I read, I'm constantly analysing what exactly the author means and all these references and Easter eggs. I physically cannot read a book without analysing it anymore. I feel like I'm especially bad at this with YA books because often they are written in a series, so each book links to each other in some way or another, whether it's like a prequel or a sequel or over a span of different generations. I really enjoy finding little Easter eggs that the author has put in which link together the books in her series. Anyway, at the start of lockdown in the UK, I had a massive Cassandra Clare binge, and I reread all 3 of the Infernal Devices books, Ghost of the Shadow Market for the first time, and Chain of Gold that came out in March. So if you guys know Cassie's books, you'll know that Chain of Gold is actually the sequel to the Infernal Devices series prior. And so when I was reading Chain of Gold, I was literally like mentally highlighting every single sentence, like, that's a reference to Tessa, that's a reference to Gem. And it got to the point where I was like, I need to put these thoughts somewhere. And that's how this channel was born. Okay, question 2. What are some fun and exciting things that you can bring to BookTube? When I was thinking about making this channel, I did a little bit of research to see if there was actually anything out there that already existed. But all I could find was sort of like generic and general book reviews and discussion. There wasn't really anyone like breaking down chapter by chapter, picking up on references and Easter eggs. In other words, there wasn't anyone else obsessing to my level about all these references between books. But I guess one unique thing is I'm bringing my like intense English literature analytics skills and crossing it with YA, which is something a bit different, I think, and I really hope you guys enjoy this style of these videos. Okay, question 3. What are you most excited about for this channel? Like I said, I'm really excited to share these crazy theories and references with other people that will freak out to the same degree as me. I really love when booktubers do crazy theories, and honestly, I really want to get involved in that. I'm also excited to meet like-minded people like me who are maybe a little bit too old to keep reading YA, but it's still their favourite genre, so just carry on and don't really give a crap what anyone else thinks. On this channel, we do not book or genre shame. You can read anything you want. Coming from an English lit graduate that didn't really read any classics before or during her time at university, unless she was explicitly told she had to, YA for the win. Question 4. Why do you love reading? Without sounding like the most basic girl in the whole entire world, I feel like reading adds a new dimension to the world and makes life a lot more vibrant. It helps you understand the world in different ways. I feel like you can jump into different people's point of views and walk the world in their shoes, even if it's only in your imagination. As well as being able to understand the world from a different perspective that's not your own, I feel like reading also helps you travel to new places that you've not been to before. Whether you're reading about a country or a place that does actually exist, or you're literally reading about Hogwarts, this is free travel. EasyJet could never. Question 5 is, which book or series got you into reading? When I was younger, like properly younger, I used to read everything. Me and my friend always used to hang out in the library and take out everything we could actually fit in our bags. If you're British watching this, you'll recognise these fairy books. I used to read these a lot of my time. And also classique Jacqueline Wilson. For all the non-British viewers watching this, Jacqueline Wilson moulded not just mine, but literally my whole generation of girls' childhood. And of course, none other than Harry Potter, written by Hermione Granger, of course. So when I got to age 14/15, I sort of stopped reading for a bit. But then when I was 16, my friend recommended the Mortal Instruments series. And that was it. I was back into reading like there was no tomorrow. Because quite a lot of the books were actually out at this point, I stormed through all 6 of the Mortal Instruments in a matter of months. Then I went on to the Infernal Devices. I even took the Bane Chronicles on holiday with me. And me and my best friend sat on the beach and swapped our books back and forth. So, without being dramatic, I really think TSC reignited my love for books. Question 6. What questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? I would have to say Christine, aka Poland Banana Books, has been one of my favourite booktubers for about 7 years now. I have this really vivid memory of me and my best friend watching Christine's 50 Shades of Grey versus Twilight analysis when she was picking up all the references between 50 Shades of Grey and Twilight, and how E.L. James didn't even try to hide that it was just Twilight fanfic. So if I had to ask Christine something, my first one would be, how do you colour coordinate your bookshelf so well? I tried to order mine in genre, so like YA, kids books that I probably shouldn't be reading but still do enjoy to this day, like Harry Potter, random fiction that I've collected over the years and there's no real link between it other than it's great to read on a beach and you don't really have to think about it, and then academic books from sixth form doing my A-levels to university and studying for my final exams. That's what those huge anthologies are behind my head. Question 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be hardest to overcome? I think the hardest challenge for me will be to keep it going because I'm currently looking for a full-time job. The thing is, I really do enjoy making these videos, but my bank account says that enjoyment isn't enough and I probably should sort something else out to keep the money coming in. I think my second thing would be accepting what I look like on camera. I swear, no one likes what they look like being filmed or their voice on recording. But this is kind of therapeutic to me because it's like a slow acceptance of this is what I actually look like, and you know what? It's not even bad. So I guess being able to edit my videos and just getting used to like my angles on my face, my voice, just the way everything looks. Question 8. When did you start reading? I guess for as long as I can remember, I've always been reading something. My parents used to take me to our local library and there was like reading challenges. So like, can you read 20 books over summer? I also have a really weird and vivid memory of getting the 6th Harry Potter book in a supermarket when it first came out. I feel like supermarkets don't really stock books the way that they used to, but when I was younger, every time a Harry Potter book was released, they used to put them right at the front of the shop next to the bread and the milk, like piled high, just stacked up. And I remember, I think I was in Scotland visiting family and I picked up the Half-Blood Prince. I know this because it's my only Harry Potter hardback and it's like twice as big as the other ones are. Question 9. Where do you read? Ideally, sunbathing on a beach, but I live in rainy England, so this doesn't happen a lot, to be honest. I guess I normally read in bed before I go to sleep. I also like to read in the bath, but this is so scary because if you drop that, that is your book ruined. So this kind of fills me with fear and I don't do it that much. I will say I do prefer to have the physical copy of a book, but I do actually own a Kindle as well. I actually find it easier to sort of like annotate references on a Kindle because you just like hold it down, and also that means you get no highlighter or pencil on your lovely hard copies. So if I'm rereading a book and annotating it like I was doing to make my Chain of Gold analysis videos, I will use a Kindle and just highlight and annotate on there. So last but not least, question 10, what kind of books do you enjoy reading? As you can tell by the theme of this channel, my favourite genre is definitely young adult fiction. Things like The Hunger Games, the Shadowhunter Chronicles, the Divergent series, the Delirium series. I love YA. Some other things that I enjoy reading, this sounds really random, but sometimes I watch a film and I really love it and then I find out there was actually a book beforehand. This happened recently with Howl's Moving Castle, which is that amazing Studio Ghibli film. Did you know that it's actually a YA book and there's actually 3 in the series? It's absolutely amazing. I cannot recommend it enough and I really think it's one of my top 3 favourite books. I've also read some amazing works of literature during my time as a university student. For example, this book of poems. So these poems are about race, sexuality and being a woman in post-apartheid South Africa. They are beautifully written, they are so harrowing and they're just mind-boggling. I cannot recommend this collection enough. I also enjoy reading some non-fiction books and I think my favourite non-fiction book is Bloody Brilliant Woman by Cathy Newman. You might recognise Cathy Newman from the Channel 4 news show if you're a British viewer watching this. She is honestly a great news reporter and every young woman that's watching this video needs this book in their life. So as you know, the history books are all full of the amazing things that men have done. There's never enough recording of the amazing things that women have done throughout history. So this book covers a time period from 1880 up to 2017 and it talks about all the amazing women that have been left out of the history books. For example, there was a woman called Beatrice Schilling. During the Second World War, she designed this tiny little part that went in a Spitfire. So previously when Spitfires gathered speed when they were going downwards, they cut out, which could often lead to the Spitfire exploding and the pilot dying inside. But Beatrice invented this tiny little contraption that actually prevented this. and thus changed how Spitfires worked forever. Anyway, I'm digressing. You have to read this book though. Okay, that's the end of the 10 questions and the end of this tag. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to meet all you guys, and please leave a comment and introduce yourself. I would love to say hi. If you're into the Shadowhunter Chronicles, I am midway through a series where I'm analysing and annotating in detail each chapter of Chain of Gold. Me and my best friend also did a fan casting for the Infernal Devices characters, and I'll leave a link in the bio for that video if you're interested. If you're not a fellow booktuber and you don't like the Shadowhunter Chronicles, please still say hi below, subscribe to my channel and give it a like if you've enjoyed it. I'm so honoured to be a part of the booktube community, and I would just love to get to know you guys. See you guys again soon.